So a few months ago we planted 2 types of dragon fruit on this palm tree stump. Now this is one type right here, and this group right here actually is coming from the other side of the palm tree, and this is the other variety. It's good to have both kinds because they cross-pollinate and it makes the plants more productive. We haven't gotten any fruit yet, but we did get one flower, and that flower fell off, probably because it wasn't pollinated. So today what I'm going to do is take some cuttings, and hopefully in a few months we'll be able to use these cuttings for our second chapter of the dragon fruit project, which is in the other part of the property with some former foxtail palms that we have cut the tops off of, and we will plant dragon fruit on those also. So I want to keep these 2 varieties separate. So I'm going to... It's a good thing to use gloves because they do have little pricklies in them. Scintillating silver. Okay, so that's one type. Now I'm going to cut from this particular plant, and I'll just try and cut it from growing into this other variety so that we don't have to separate them later on. Not so much confusion about it. Okay, so now I'm going to go get some pots and get a little bit of mulch in them and put these into the shade so that they can root. It'll take a couple months at least, but we'll see how that goes. So I got some mulch and a couple of pots. These actually stuck together, but it'll be our little coating system. This will be the second ones that I cut off of this palm tree, the second variety. And so what I'm going to do is put the base of each of these into the bucket or the pot. Again, good to use the gloves. Okay, see how this works out. We'll use part of this bucket of mulch. You only need a couple inches on the bottom. And I'll just sort of spread this out. This is interesting. I didn't even notice it while it was on the palm tree stump. There's actually roots growing out of the top of this particular segment. So I'm assuming that it'll grow roots out of the bottom also. I'm just going to spread these out a little bit in the mulch so that they each have their little bit of sunshine and such. Another handful of mulch in here. So this is a very leafy mulch, so this will go down to, it'll settle down to at probably half of its size fairly quickly. But That's what that looks like. That was, of course, the second variety that I cut off of this palm tree. So this is the first variety. I'm going to put some of these in here. Actually, this is a rather long segment, so I think I'll cut this in two. This variety, I happen to remember, is Purple Haze. I remember that because Pete used purple tape on that other side, so that was his little system for marking which were Purple Haze. So anyway, just putting these into the mulch at the bottom of this plant. I've got a few more long ones, so I'll cut those also. There's two little segments. And if I ever think that it needs more mulch, I can always add that later. And last one, it's another long one, so I'm going to cut this one in half. Okay, so I think that's good. We happen to be very close to this big Mulgoba tree, so that seems like it would be perfect for providing shade for these. So, just going to walk through the ferns and find a place to put them.